O Show. This is the Big 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 O Show.
Where can you take $10,000 off the 2026 Acura MDX? There's just one place, Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Set the rhythm of your smart home with Sloman Shield Link, the new integrated smart home platform that automates your life just the way you want it. Sloman Shield Link. Be the maestro of your own home.
It's game day at Toyota of Hollywood. Our all-stars are here to give you our MVP experience. Join the fun and feast on discounts up to $4,500. Huddle up and score big on a 25 Corolla. Not $26,000, $17,988. It's a tailgate party you don't want to miss. So gobble up the savings at the #1 volume Toyota dealer. Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
When it comes to your smile, confidence is so important. At Moody S Dental, they provide the services to get your smile back. This family-run practice prides itself by offering the latest technology to give your family the best experience possible. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years with offices in Hialeah and Plantation. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams, 20% off select treatments. To qualify, please follow us on Instagram at moodys.dental. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years. To schedule an appointment in Hialeah, call 305-821-0231 and Plantation 954-692-6825. From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. Go to moodysdental.com to find out more and tell them Big O sent you.
Price, service, selection. Get all this and more at South Florida's #1 loved Subaru store. Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Save today with our 3 ways to save. 0% financing, 0 down payment, or make no payments for 90 days. From Subaru of Pembroke Pines.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors, 305-345-3649. Or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welton Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welton Rayom can help.
Where can you drive the new Acura TLX for only $399 a month? There's just one place, Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
The viewpoints, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
Good morning. Welcome aboard. Hope you all are doing well. It is Friday, March 6, 2026. It is day number 19,040 since the Miami Dolphins were world champions, and day number 8,824 since the Canes were national champions. Welcome aboard. I'm not going to do the heat, because that would be torturous. Somebody reminded me, hey, we should start adding the heat now. It's been since 2013. I'm like, do you think they're going to ever get close again? Because I don't. So I don't want to. Yeah, it's enough. I got to count the Dolphins. Like, I know Mario's going to end this streak. He's going to recruit his ass out of this streak. One way or another, he's going to get there. He might even do it this year, So, but the Dolphins, that's enough already. It's, we're approaching 20,000, So I don't want to do that with the Heat also, because it's going to be a long time. It's going to be a long time. But they did beat a sorry team yesterday in the Nets. Nice performance by Khalil Ware. 16 points, 11 rebounds, 5 steals, and a block party, baby. It was 7 yesterday. So it was good. Hero had 25, Bam had 21, Jaquez had 18, 7, and 7. So, I mean, again, they played the Nets. Tonight, beat the Hornets. And then that'll say, okay, well, no, okay. And this is a team right behind them and much hotter than they are. And they are one of the hottest teams in the NBA, period. So this will be interesting if they can beat the Hornets. That's when you're going to impress me. If you can't beat the Hornets, then, it's a same old. And that's why I tell you that the count, if I got to add the Heat also, which right now we are talking 13 years that we would add the Heat. Yeah, that's that would be a sad countdown there. You know what I'm saying? Really sad. Speaking of sad, not that I'm sad about it for this part. The other part I'm sad for a lot of other people. But Bitcoin is down, thanks to the Orange Man, 68.5. The markets are absolutely getting crushed. The Dow is down 772 points. The S&P is down 93 points. The NASDAQ is down over a point. So we're now approaching 47,000. In fact, for the month, the Dow is down 2,522 points. So, yeah, not good after hitting the 50,000. And then today the jobs report came out, which was really bad. We have lost jobs since Liberation Day. Since Liberation Day, we've lost jobs. And so now, so that's why if you're wondering what the shock to the markets is going on, the shock to the monkey, that's the shock to the monkey. That the markets aren't reacting because the good thing is that Kevin Warsh, the new Fed chair, that's going to take over for Powell in May. Rate cuts, baby. They're going to cut rates and they're going to print even more and all that. And then so they'll juice the markets that way. That's what they'll do. They're juicing it now because they're buying bonds behind the scenes. So that's the kind of way that they're inflicting money into the market. But once they start, dropping rates, then people will start to, find ways to spend more money they don't have. And so, that's kind of the way it'll go. And so it'll get juiced. But meanwhile, I get to buy Bitcoin. I'm holding off right now because I'm wondering if I'm going to go to 67, 66. We're at 66.5 right now after this dip here. So I'm wondering, what do we do here? We get a chance here to take advantage. You know what I'm saying? Because all of the volatility and everything will end up coming back to Bitcoin. When everybody figures it out and education and all that, it's what I'm not worried about. You know what I mean? So I just will sit there and accumulate. Listen, it's not like I have a big old pot of it, so it doesn't matter. I'm not sitting on a ton like all these other people. I'm a working stiff. But this is the opportunity, especially for you people that are a little bit more comfortable. This is your opportunity to take advantage. Not that it's financial advice, but, you do your own thing. I know I don't know anything. That's for damn sure. So hang in there because I know it's not easy. So good job by the Heat taking care of business. Let me see what you do tonight. By the way, the Hornets are favored by 7. And then the Panthers lost yesterday to Columbus. I'm fine. AJ Greer didn't play. Bob didn't play. We got guys that are on the trading block. So we'll find out now if it happens. If these guys get traded and they open up some more cap space, because they're going to have cap space next year. And if you make this trade, especially with Bob, you're going to open up even more cap space. So that will give Zito some firepower for the offseason. And he'll have an opportunity. I'm sure he knows what's a free agent at the end of the year or what could be had. If he's making this move, it's because he plays chess. I make that move, I'm going to make this move. So he's thinking of something. There's no doubt about that. And I'm not sad that they lost. I'm just at a point where they need rest. and they need the entire offseason. I can't say that enough. So I'm not disappointed that they lost tonight. They're at Detroit, and Detroit is minus 150 in the money line. And they should be right now because they're younger and they're up and coming, and the Panthers are better, but right now they're not playing like that. So they're not healthy and they're not playing that way. So I wouldn't be surprised if they lose. So that's what happened last night to our local teams. So we'll have some fun. And then this weekend, we'll see if the Canes can win number 25 on the weekend for against Louisville. It's going to be pretty cool if they're able to do that. Inter Miami hung out with the orangutan yesterday. So I don't know if anybody watched that. So those guys were there with the orangutan doing their thing. And then we've got Inter Miami back in action. They're playing against DC United right in the backyard. So kind of goes with the trip. You visit the orangutan and then you play the DC United. And DC United, by the way, is not favored in this one. They're plus 350. Miami is minus 145. That was a nice performance against Orlando last week. That was a really nice performance. It didn't start off well, but it finished super strong. And that was cool. That was cool. Anyway, Feronis will join us at 10:30. So we'll have a little fun with David. We'll talk a little Dolphins. Not that there's a ton to talk about, to be quite honest. I'm usually too honest, unfortunately. But there's not really everything's talked about. I've talked about everything. I don't know what more there is until we get to next week when we have free agency. We'll talk to him about a couple of those issues and things like that. But right now, today, it's like there's not really a lot of hot button topics that I haven't talked about Dolphins wise. Let me see what else we have here. I'm just seeing if anything is coming across the wire. All right. Let's see what we got here. Jeff in Long Island. There we go. He goes, I never saw The Police. Is it worth to see Sting? Yeah. If you never saw The Police, Sting still sounds good. I like some of his solo stuff, his early solo stuff. His solo stuff, like his first two albums, maybe three after that. Yeah, I want to say like first two. And after that, I think he kind of ran out of gas. It was his solo stuff is but he'll play some Police songs. So you might as well go because he's probably going to play a third or maybe half of his set will be. I don't know. I don't know. I've seen him early in his career solo. I saw him with Shaggy. I've seen him later on in his career solo, and it depends on what mood he is in. Go to setlist.fm. Okay. Lock that in for any of you that like music, setlist.fm. Okay. And then what you do there is you put any band that you're going to go see on the search engine, and then the set list will come up. So you start looking at the shows right before your town and start looking at what songs they're playing. And then that way you'll know. Okay. Not every city, but most every city fans put in the songs for the set list that they saw that night. So it's a really cool feature. And then it gives you a great feel for when you go see the band, you know exactly what they're going to play pretty much. So that's what I would do. And that way, you know how many Police songs you're going to get out of the Sting set. Okay. So there you go. That's what I would tell you. Let's see. Luis Medina, Captain Saki out in Tarpon Springs. Good morning to you, sir. Dolphin Dave. We're going to sign all the scrubs. No, it's a rebuild, dude. They're going to do a lot of draft picks, some undrafted free agents, undrafted college free agents. You'll have some fill-in free agents. It's a rebuild, Dolphin Dave. You got to Take it easy, bro. You can't have such a negative attitude about it. You know what I mean? You gotta now see what they start with and hope that they take positive steps. And that's it. That's we've got no control over this shit. But I mean, to look at it that, they're just going to sign scrubs. Maybe they'll sign good veteran professionals that will teach the younger kids how to play the game the right way and those kind of things. We'll see, man. We'll see what we got going on. I don't know yet. I'm not going to judge until I actually see what's going on. You know what I'm saying? That's why I've kept an open mind to it. Let's see. And so far, I can't complain. If I'm rebuilding a team, so far they have not done anything that I would have not done myself, and I agree with everything. We'll see now the Malik Willis one. That's the one that's the next step. I want to see if you guys are real or you're just talking shit. If you sign Malik Willis, then I know you're just talking shit. But if you don't, then I know you're real and you're really dedicated to this and you understand that this year has nothing to do with quarterbacks. This year has to do more with rebuilding the interior, the lines, the culture and all that kind of stuff. The quarterback, you can get guys just to get by. Everything else has got to be, dedicated to the culture and to the lines. So I'm going to see. I'm going to test them out. We're going to find out. But right now, I love everything that they've done and they've said. So far, I'm good. I'm good with it. Jaybird is in the house. Shabbat shalom to you, sir. I'll see you there tomorrow at the Fort Lauderdale United game. By the way, we spoke to Bella Hara yesterday, and the interview dropped last night. The goalkeeper for Fort Lauderdale United had a really fun conversation, talked a lot of Star Wars because there's a lot of Star Wars stuff coming up. We talked some music because there's actually there was a good there was a good talking point with her because of one of her favorite artists compared to something that happened now. Talked about some food, previewed the Orlando Pride game, the season, all that. So please enjoy the conversation. Go to the platform. Hit the Bella Hara link and hit the like button also and share it and that kind of stuff. We'd appreciate it immensely if you can do that and get the algorithms going and support the ladies. And so thank you very much. It was a fun conversation. So check it out. We try to do it within the show, but because of their practice times, it doesn't collide sometimes. And so that's why I haven't done any of the interviews during the live show. And it's been kind of, pre-recorded and then posted after. I would love to do it during the live show. So what I would love for you all is to, visit the site and hit some of the extra videos that maybe you haven't seen and hit the like button there and get the algorithms going for that. So thank you. True Fin is smashing it and the like button too. Second place doesn't even show up on the radar. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Lenny Pena, good morning to you. He says it's pretty sad that some out there in the media are looking at tonight's game against the Hornets as an actual test for us. But the Hornets are actually really good. They're playing like smoking hot right now. And we all see, Lenny, I think the thing is what the part that maybe you might be misunderstanding from people is it's not that they're looking at it as a test. It's that we all think the Heat are frauds. Those of us with a brain. We're convinced like these guys are frauds. They're playing teams. That's what they are. They're not going to be good teams. They're the Dolphins. They're stuck in the middle. They'll beat the scrub teams. They're not going to beat the good teams. They're going to be stuck right in the middle in the play-in. They're the Dolphins. Absolute Dolphins. They barely make the playoffs or they're barely outside of the playoffs, right? That's been the Dolphins forever for the last 30 years, 40 years. So I think that's what it is. It's like the test is, are you guys really still scrubs or do you really want to take that next step? Because they all talk about wanting to be the 6th seed and all that kind of shit. And we all kind of, those of us with a brain, we're kind of like laughing at the fact that yo, dude, you're not good. You have no stars, whatever, and all that. So it's a matter of them proving us wrong and proving themselves right. You know what I mean? So I think that's kind of what it is. It's not so much that we look at it as a test, it's that most of us are convinced of what the Heat are. Okay? It's can you show us that we're wrong? That's really what it is. You know? Of course, there's those, crazy fans that you have in every fan base that they always think they're better than what they really are and all that kind of stuff. And they're always putting rainbows and unicorns on everything. Yeah, you those kind of people you can't do anything with. They're the people that tell you the Dolphins will win 12 games every year. So Brian Landis, Alexis Palenzuela, the Horn Dog is in the house. Daddy Dean, Ty in the Bronx, Cosa, Inter Messi Club of Friends. Yeah. Tommy Mayer, True Fin fan. Let's see. Pat in Asheville. Sting is playing about 10 Police songs out of his 20 on his 3.0 guitar, bass, drum tour. Seeing him in May for the first time. Yeah, there you go. So 10 out of 20. So you get 10 Police songs. That's actually not bad. And there's a couple of his own songs, Englishman in New York and stuff like that. He's got a couple of good songs for his from his solo collection. So I'll give him credit there. I remember seeing him in the early days. I saw Natalie Merchant open up for him, and it was fresh with Natalie Merchant. She had just left 10,000 Maniacs, and she might have been like on her first or second album. And I saw her open up for Sting in Tampa, where the Yankees play, where the Tampa Yankees play across the street from the football stadium. I saw them there. That was a good little concert at that time, because that was early on in Sting's career and early on in Natalie Merchant's solo career. And that was a really good concert. I really enjoyed that. Drove up to Tampa for that, went to Burn Steakhouse. It's the law. Okay? That's how Nino Brown says. It's the law. Let's see. Jeff in Long Island. I see you there. Stony Stanley. My son Daniel's band Stop Sign will be performing at Old Town in Kissimmee, Florida at the end of this month. Big O, I will give the details as soon as it's officially announced. Awesome. Send me like a little thing on Yahoo or on DM on Twitter, and I'll tweet it out for him. Okay? I'll give him some love. I wish I was there to go see him jam, dude. Go support your kid. That would be pretty cool. I love seeing live music, so that would be awesome. Awesome. I get you, Big O. Good point. I hear you. The Hornets have been playing well. I think they're like 16-3 in January, so I see what you're saying. Right, that's what it is. Like, they look real, we're frauds. So that to me, that's how I look at the Heat. The Heat, the whole organization is fraudulent now. I hate to say it, but it's all fraudulent now. They have no idea what they're doing in the front office. They have no stars on the court. I like some of their young guys, but let's be honest, the young guys are turning out to be really good role players. Still need stars. Maybe where, Palo Larson looks like a badass player you want on your team. Maybe not a star, but he's that guy that you definitely have to have on your team. So there's a couple of guys that I really like. I mean, Jaquez can definitely be a sixth man, but you need stars. Stars. People, as I've said before, Bam could be a star in the 90s when we scored 90 points, 85, 93 points a game. When points were at a premium and defense and rebounding and all that was like super, super important because points were at a premium. You didn't score a lot of points. Bam would have been a star then. But in this kind of NBA, where the defense is nowhere near where it used to be, and all of a sudden the offense is everything, you must, in order to be a star in this league, you have to be able to impose your offensive will. And we don't have that guy on our team. We don't have the guy that takes over at the end of games. So this is all a collective. And if the collective isn't working that night and people taking turns and all that and the flow of the offense, it won't work. But that's not how the NBA has ever worked. You just don't. You got to have stars. You got to have closers. We don't have anybody like that. We don't have a mother effer that tells everybody, give me the ball. I'm going to end this. I'm going to win the game. We don't have that guy. We don't have that guy. And so that's why, for me, the Heat are frauds, because they can't get any stars anymore. And they keep waiting to do it the old way when, look around, dude, nobody does it the old way. Stop being old. Oh, excuse me, you are. Let's see. What else? Knowing the Dolphins, it seems like whenever we have a new coach hired, that we always make the playoffs in their first year. LOL. No, not going to happen. All right. Didn't happen with Flo, and it ain't going to happen with this one. This is a real teardown. Okay. The other people tried to tear it down, but Flo's an idiot and kind of fought it. But everybody's idiots, because you hired the guy and you didn't tell him, you didn't have an understanding from the, hey, asshole, we're trying to lose. We're hiring you. You're signing this contract. Do you understand, Brian Flores? We want to suck. Oh, no, I'm not. Well, then F you. You're not signing this contract. You and your agent can get the hell out of here. That's what had to happen. In a nice, polite way, in a indiscreet way or whatever. But apparently they didn't get the message before signing. Somehow they thought he was just going to go along with it or something. And this is why you can't do shit like that. And so, let's see. I got tickets for 10 dates for Rush. I'll need to be begging for change pretty soon. Jesus Christ. Would you mortgage the house? Wow. I really couldn't even afford one show. Damn, that's good. Scott Wetherington, knowing the Dolphins, it seems like, oh, okay, I read that one. Once upon a time, I had a huge crush on Natalie Merchant. Who was your once upon a time? Oh, God. Once upon a time, let's see, Jeannie. Once upon a time, Jacqueline Smith. Once upon a time, 80s. Let's see. Bengals. What's her name? Jesus. That was one. What's her damn name now? Now I'm forgetting. And she still looks great too, by the way, at her age now. Oh, God. There's several of those kinds over the years from back in the day. Several, for sure. Oh, man. What else do we have? Good morning to you, Jamie Zoria in San Jose, sir. Susanna Hoffs, that's it. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Pat. Thank you, Dave. Appreciate it. And, definitely Olivia Newton-John. Yeah, definitely. Aliso says too many commercials. I should block that person, right? Like, that's a new person to the show. Obviously. Never seen that person in my life. And so they are way behind on the show, and they're watching the beginning. That is just to start off the show, to get it going, give people time to get on and all that kind of stuff, because we really don't play commercials throughout the show. So, I hate the uninformed. So, just so you know, Aliso, shut the fuck up. So that'll be good when if he gets to that point, of course, because he's actually sitting there through the commercials and not forwarding. I hate stupid people also. Stupidity is just... Anyway, Think Blue Dodgers. Thank you, sir. Keep smoking it. He says, I know I'm on the one of the few here, but I'd trade Waddle, HN for picks as well. Any high contracts or soon to be contracts. It's just the problem is HN's not going to bring you a high draft pick. Nobody trades high draft picks for running backs, dude. Running backs are a dime a dozen. They just told the Super Bowl MVP, no thanks. So Waddle, okay. Could you have gotten a second rounder from Buffalo? Do you want to give Waddle to Buffalo and then watch that? Probably not. And if you're going to have a quarterback, you got to give him at least a decent weapon, dude. You got to have some decent weapons. You know what I'm saying, True Fin fan? You just can't have an offense that has nothing. You saw it with Tannehill in his first year, and even Tua in his first year, he only had Waddle. And it was rough go, dude. So whoever's going to be quarterback, man, you got to give them something, True Fan. So I to me, True Fin fan, I would hang on to them. I disagree completely with you on there. Because one, you're not going to get much for HN anyways. You drafted him in the third. You're not even going to get that. Because running backs are a dime a dozen. And it's just kind of the way it is. It's just not anything. I would keep him, dude. I would keep him. Whoever's QB, pobrecito, man, he needs something. You need some kind of a threat, man. You know what I'm saying? Anyway. Scott says, Big O, out of the QB vets out there in free agency, who do you want the Finns to sign? Oh, dude, Flacco, Winston, Garoppolo, anything like that. I'm fine. And then you draft a kid in the 4th or 5th or 6th round, and then him and Ewers will compete for the backup, and you start the veteran early on, and then you assess the young guys, and then you give a young guy a shot, and then give another young guy a shot, and that's kind of... I'm good with that. There's no hurry for that. We need to go. We need to change our ways. The quarterback is just not important right now. It's just not important. I need to see first if these two can build lines. Because did I win anything with him? Put a lot of stats. It was fun. He busted his ass to win a couple of games. But you didn't win shit. Every big moment, there was a choke city. And it wasn't his fault. It's just he had no defense. He had no running game that could punch somebody in the mouth. He didn't have what Bob Greasy had. I'll just hand it off to Zonka. I'll just hand it off to Kick. Mercury's here. Oh, let's do it. He didn't have that. So there's no hurry to go get a quarterback this year. And maybe next year you can get one because there's a bunch. But what you want to do in the next couple of years here is build lines. Because you can do whatever you want, but you don't win with Tua. Tannehill got killed here constantly. He survived all the hits, but he took hits. Now he was, scatterbrain. He can't react quickly, so he took hits because he wanted to. But then Tua also took because he had 2 seconds. Tua would be almost getting tackled while he's handing off. So the first priority for Sullivan and for Hafley on this team is to build the lines. Without the lines, it doesn't matter who you have at quarterback or wide receiver or whatever, they're not going to win. So let's find out if you can find that first, because we've already figured out that if you can build that, you don't even need him to win the title. 80% of the quarterbacks that have won don't even belong in the same sentence with this guy. David Furones and our Welton Rayom Miami Dolphins report.
All rise, football fans, as the Welton Rayom Miami Dolphins report with David Furones is in session.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They are committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. Here's Miami Dolphins insider David Furones.
All right. How you doing, my brother?
I'm feeling good, got through another week, and then just preparing for free agency so I could really be locked down and just monitoring all the moves and waiting for the Dolphins to strike, albeit probably not making too much of a splash, just probably some economical moves, find some bargains. That's what I expect.
Yeah, I'm with you there. And leading into your segment, people focused in on quarterbacks and all those things. I just think that you got to put the quarterback stuff to the back burner. The most important thing right now for Sully and Half is to build the lines. Do you believe that or what?
Yeah, I mean, I think you want to build it from the inside out, but also understanding on the outside, it's important to have some of the premium positions covered. So, we've seen the track record in Green Bay that they certainly do value the trenches, but then also will go and get a strong lockdown corner. Maybe if there's a very talented elite safety prospect to go grab that, just so you have those supplemental things, because we know the pass rush gets married to the coverage on the back end. Even if a player on the front end is beating a guy right off the line, if the corner is getting beat at that same second, then it does you no good. The wide receiver is still going to be open in under 2 seconds, and they get the ball out. So, I think overall you just want to build a team so that it's a good situation for whoever it is down the road, and then you give someone a chance to go win the job this year, who otherwise wouldn't, a quarterback who wouldn't be gifted a starting job. See if they can rise, and then what you have going into the future. Right now, it's just about culture and team building, I think.
Right. For me, that's really what it's all about. It's about culture and team building and getting those lines, dude. Because if you can't build that, you're never going to win anyway. And that's kind of been proven, over and over again. Sean, I just sent you an email. When you get that pick, pull it up, because I want to have a conversation with Feronis about this, because that was kind of ridiculous. So we got to call it out. We got to call out the ridiculous. All right. So no birthday wishes for Tua. Right. So, I mean, for the people that thought that they were going to keep him on the roster and all that kind of stuff, I think that was the nail in the coffin, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just a formality whenever it happens. I think it's been a foregone conclusion. I know everyone just every now and then just wants to bring the possibility back, like oh, maybe there's a way. Oh, it would make sense if you just let them play. Financially, it gives you this and that, and you don't have to go take on the dead cap. But it's just a matter of, if you're establishing a certain culture and you're moving on from the past and you're cleaning out, and you're giving someone else a chance to go and take the job, like we talk about giving Quinn Ewers a chance. That was the whole point of the final 3 games last year. And then if he's going to compete against someone else, it's just bringing in new blood. You've already met the end with Tua at this point. So now it's just a matter of moving on. Even if for 2026 it would be beneficial against the salary cap. That's just not the main focus. It's about just down the road and giving someone some experience. So you see maybe what you got in Quinn Ewers and another quarterback they bring in, either a cheap option in free agency or a trade or in the draft.
Somebody just told me, before that, I'd trade HN and Waddle. And I said, one, you're not going to get much for HN anyways, because they just told the MVP of the Super Bowl, no thanks. And I know HN's better than that guy. But my point is they just don't really give up much for running backs in this league. So you're not really going to get a big trade. And Waddle's worth keeping because you got to keep those two guys. Whoever is quarterback, they're not going to be very good. You got to give those guys some kind of weapons, dude. You know what I mean? We've seen quarterbacks here, like the first year of Tannehill and the first year of Tua, that he only really had Waddle. That's tough sledding for any offense if you don't give them any weapons.
Yeah, you got to give whoever it is someone to start with, something to start with. So, a running game is a good place to start. And then which also goes in line with the offensive line, where you've got some pieces already, Aaron Brewer and Patrick Paul, and if Austin Jackson stays healthy and they keep him around, and you need to develop Jonas Avainaya and find a long-term option at right guard. So get all that together. You want your wide receiver one, which Jalen Waddle has reached a certain level, but hasn't gotten over the hump to like a Pro Bowl caliber wide receiver. But you gave him a contract, and it's one that it's a formidable contract, but it's one that also just the market is skyrocketing for receivers, and there's a lot of receivers that are now getting paid more than him, and then will continue to get paid more than him. The ones that are coming up. So you got him at what's a decent price to get a wide receiver one, and maybe he is that. Maybe he's a 1A, 1B. Maybe ideally you want someone else to be that 1A with him being the 1B, like Tyreek Hill and him as a combination. If you're really trying to make some strides in the passing game down the road as he becomes more of a veteran. But you need some pieces. You need pieces around so you can do a rebuild with some pieces already in place. It's not like you have to clean house. But with that being said, if a team just blows the Dolphins away with an offer, like if you get a late one for Waddle, and a contending team wants to add him as a receiver, then I think you strongly consider doing that.
But
backs, you're not going to get as much of a pick.
Nobody's doing that.
Yeah, that was the number that was thrown out around the trade deadline, which Champ Kelly he shot that down like that was inaccurate when that started coming around, that the Dolphins turned down a one. I think if you get a late one that a contending team that was hurt in the playoffs sends you, certainly, and then maybe a high two even, with some more on the back end. But I know I'm with you.
DJ Moore is a better receiver for his career. Ooh. He is. Just look at his career. This guy's got over 8,000 yards, 40 touchdowns or something like that. I mean, the guy has played. He's a baller, and he's, by the way, available every week. So, and it was a second rounder. You know what I'm saying? Whereas this kid's got some inconsistencies a little bit, and he's still talented. No, don't get me wrong, but he really hasn't played like a legit number one. He's played more like a number two. And so you're not going to get a number one for him. Plus, you have to pay him a large salary on top of paying him the number one. So I think that it'd be too hard to get a deal like that. That's why I'm saying you're better off keeping them for now, because whoever's quarterback, bro, what are you going to give them? No weapons? That makes no sense either, because then you won't be able to judge anything on your offense. Understand? You won't be able to judge the blocking, the run game, nothing, because if you have no running backs and you have no receivers, it's hard to judge any progress on your offense. So you've got to have something out there. So, you're going to get rid of a bunch of people. You can't get rid of all of them. That's the way I am, but whatever. We'll see. All right. This yesterday, I saw you comment on it also. And nothing against the Hard Rock. They do great work and their app and all that kind of stuff. But they do, whoever works on social media clearly doesn't know shit about South Florida history. I mean, seriously, this is one of the dumbest freaking lists I have ever seen in my entire life. Somebody that's like 24 years old must have made this list. Seriously. It's like Tua Tagovailoa doesn't belong anywhere on that list.
No,
and how you left Zonka off is like, you know, were you born yesterday, asshole, or what the hell's going on? Because Zonka is either 2 or 3 on the list. Some people might put Zonka ahead of Marino because he's got the undefeated season and he's got a couple of championships. And so I know Marino's more beloved. He's my favorite Dolphin of all time. But somebody tells me I got Zonka ahead of Marino, dude, I'm not going to argue with that person. You know what I'm saying? So that's how strong Zonka is. But for Zonka not to be there, for Butler to be put ahead of LeBron James or Miguel Cabrera, que clase come mierda tú eres. You know, it's just like, have at it, bro. Just have at it. I mean, you know, go ahead. Ken Dorsey and Steve Walsh deserve to be there way ahead of Tua Tagovailoa, dude. I mean, I can
right.
on and on. Where is Bob Greasy on this list? Come on. Are you kidding me, dude? It's like, this is a disgusting list, bro. It's a terrible order. Jimmy Butler 4, Matthew Tkachuk, God bless him, but he's not 3.
Yeah.
Bro, Barkov belongs on that list.
That's what Tkachuk.
Tkachuk doesn't belong on that list. He's been injured during the 2 championship runs. He's been a complimentary player. This person doesn't know jack shit. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I said when I quote tweeted it, which I feel like at some point, do you consider that they're just trolling with this list at a certain point?
No. This person.
You think legit? This is like legit opinion, huh?
This is a 24. Look at it. Look at the list.
Yeah.
24-year-old.
Oh, totally. Yeah, right. Someone who like has watched recent South Florida sports and maybe has heard some things about the past. But definitely hasn't heard enough about the 70s Dolphins that where Larry Zonka and the undefeated team were doing their thing. So I agree with the top. Like Dwayne Wade, number 1, with Dan Marino 2. Wade's got the chips. Marino, so beloved, where I feel like he's the all-time Dolphin, even though he doesn't have a Super Bowl. And then after that, you got to get Zonka in there. I'm not sure exactly where, but you got to get him in there quickly.
I'm going Zonka, dude.
Yeah,
Zonka.
Yeah, probably a 3.
Zonka is either 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Zonka is either 2 or 3. That you are talking about one of the most dominant forces that have ever played in South Florida sports history, dude. Like that guy was a beast and a half, man. So I don't even know how you left that guy off the top 3. I just don't know.
Yeah. He is the premier option from the 72-73 teams, and eventually you can maybe work your way to Bob Greasy before you get through the 10. But he is the top guy from the early 70s Dolphins. So before you get to Tkachuk, you obviously have to do Barkov, right? Barkov, he's been here a long time, also been a part of these championship runs, and then him being injured now, these Panthers aren't even going to the playoffs. So I think that tells you just how valuable he is. I love Tkachuk, though. Tkachuk put him over the top as far as being a playoff.
I love Tkachuk. Dude, yeah. I'm the only guy in town that was saying, get freaking Huberson out of here. You're not going to win. Yeah. You Huberto and Barkov, you're not going to win with both because they're goobers. While Barkov is a great player, he's not a guy that's rattling cages. Go get a mother effer next to Barkov. And that's exactly what they went and did. You know what I mean? At that time, nobody was saying, oh, trade Huberto. I was the crazy man that said, you got to get rid of Huberto. and they did it. Okay, so I love they added Barkov because he added that it factor to the team, and I'm great with that. But dude, as time has gone on, you realize what Barkov is, bro. Barkov is one of the 5 best players in the entire league, dude. You know what I mean? Like, this is a stupid list. Even the recent history, it's not even intelligent enough.
Yeah. I mean, because then I see Jimmy Butler at 4, which you cannot even consider him this early. All right, so he had such a bad breakup just last year, so you can't do it off that. I understand. So LeBron also, there was a frosty breakup where he left. Now
he brought 2 titles.
The Heat were fortunate to have him those 4 years, but 2 titles, 4 finals runs. Jimmy Butler was 2 championship appearances, no titles. Kudos to him for being the number 1 on those Heat teams, but you're not putting him anywhere near number 4. LeBron would have to go above Jimmy Butler, certainly. Michael Irvin, I could tell he was a youngster.
I'm putting Miguel Cabrera ahead of Butler.
Yeah. I was going to get to the Marlins, where it's difficult because no one stays with the Marlins for so long. But eventually, you got to get to one of these guys. And then, I mean, Cabrera, as a 20-year-old rookie, was on the 03 Marlins that won a World Series. You have Conine, who was an original Marlin and was on both World Series teams, but he's not the elite caliber talent that you've had from Miguel Cabrera.
Beckett would be the only other guy in the Marlins I would put, because he, in the World Series, he had the 2 appearances and the relief appearance. And bro, that was huge.
He was a World Series MVP, 03.
Beckett for me would be the other guy, but Cabrera, bro, he looked at Roger Clemens and said, "Oh, you're gonna throw at my head? Okay, go ahead, do it now again." And he put an opposite field pitch in right field. That kind of shit, nobody does it at that age, bro.
Right.
People just don't do it at that age against a guy like Roger Clemens. And that's one of the greatest sports moments I have ever seen in my life, and I've seen them all. Yeah. And that right there, dude, for me, Miguel Cabrera is ahead of Butler, bro. I mean,
ahead because he was a rookie on the 03 team, and then
who's better in their overall career, Miguel Cabrera or Butler? It's not even close.
Oh yeah.
It's not even close, dude. So that we're talking about, like, I'm putting him ahead because not only what he meant to the Marlins and how he came through, but when we look at it overall, we're talking about a better player, period, a better talent overall.
And it wasn't a bad breakup. It was the Marlins being stupid and trading him. So it had nothing to do with him. With Jimmy Butler, it had a lot to do with his own attitude in breaking up with the South Florida sports team. I could tell whoever made it is also inclined with the Michael Irvin character that he has established recently on the sidelines of Miami Hurricanes games. So he's influenced by that, like maybe he doesn't know all the history of the Canes, and then it's like, I know Michael Irvin because he's always on the sideline and he's the most famous person. But certainly, he is a guy that resembles everything that was the 80s Canes. So, I am in favor of him having an NFL Hall of Fame career.
But Dorsey and Steve Walsh are they're legends, man. Those guys were money players. And if it wasn't for a concussion, Dorsey might have won a second championship. And referees, concussion and a referee, of course. But he could have won a second one there.
But before you get to those quarterbacks, though, I feel like you gotta. It's just with the Canes, it's so difficult because you have so many legends. Like, you look at the guys who did it in the NFL. Like, you have your Ray Lewis and Ed Reed and Sean Taylor and like these guys are Warren Sapp. So you have just so many guys. That's why it's
I'll give you Ed Reed. I'll give you Ed Reed. Ray Lewis and Sean Taylor didn't win shit here. They were great, but they didn't win shit here.
Yeah, Sean Taylor was a backup on the 01 team, and then starred. Yeah, Ed Reed was a senior on the 01 team.
They weren't the guys at that time. They were, they became players after and all that stuff. Yeah. But Ed Reed, that year, I made an argument for him to be the Heisman Trophy winner. Because if you look at the season he had and the impact he had all over the damn place,
Yeah.
He changed the game for the Canes and so much that I said, wow, this guy deserves Heisman consideration, and he didn't get it. And to me, Ed Reed deserved it, actually. That's how good Ed Reed was that year. So I'm with you on Ed Reed. That one I would put in there for sure. But Ken Dorsey and Steve Walsh, my God, dude. The money games that those guys played. I know they played on great teams, but the money plays that they made on a consistent basis, I can't take it away from them. I'm just saying that I'm putting those guys over some of the guys you have on this list. Like Jimmy Butler does not go over those kind of guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Jimmy Butler does not. Yeah, Tua does not belong on the list.
No, Tua's not in my top 50. I'm serious. If I start thinking everything going on in the history of South Florida sports on our 5 pro teams and what they've accomplished along with the Canes, Tua's not even – I can name so many Canes that I'm going to put ahead of Tua. And yeah, he had a 2-year stretch where he put up some really good stats. So did Ricky Williams. That doesn't mean shit to me. You know what I mean?
As my lefty thrower, I'm putting Dontrell Willis above Tua.
Okay, the Funky Chicken won a World Series, and he was key during the regular season. Obviously, in the postseason, he was kind of an afterthought. But in the regular season, yeah, bro. I mean, the stadium was
sold tickets.
That Randy Johnson Funky Chicken game is still one that is it's for the memories, right there. So
yeah, one hitter against the Mets, just a few starts into his career as a 21-year-old.
Worst thing they did was change his style. That was the worst thing they did. Leave him alone, bro.
He was vying for Cy Youngs those other regular seasons after that. They weren't competing for the World Series as they kind of like restructured, but he was competing for Cy Youngs those next few seasons.
I just, pitchers are what they are. And if they have a quirky delivery or whatever, if they're good and they already grew up that way, don't change it. You want to do it when they're 7 and 10 and 14. Okay. But once they're a grown man, if they got there already with the Funky Chicken, leave them alone, bro. Leave them alone. And they messed with the Funky Chicken. And I think that took him off his groove. You don't do that, dude. If the guy throws to a Kenta Colby or what was the name of that guy that for the Boston Red Sox that had the oh man, what was his name?
Japanese pitcher?
No, an American guy, but he would throw that ball that just kind of like floated.
Knuckleball, Tim Wakefield.
Wakefield, right? Don't change it, bro. They are who they are. You know what I mean? I've seen that the Scott, the guy that used to throw a sidewinder like that, like a submarine.
Yeah,
it's who they are. Don't change it. I kind of felt bad for Willis when they did that to him.
And there's so much value in giving someone a different look from what they're used to, different arm angle, different delivery. I mean that throws professional hitters off so much when they see so much of the same thing that it's just such muscle memory to react to it. It really throws guys off, and I think it showed early in Willis's career.
Yeah. All right. So when are you? It's next week. We should hear the Tua news.
Man, I mean, I'm even on the edge of my seat for today because I'm like, do they want to do this before free agency kicks off? Could it be this weekend? And then I don't know if it'll. Probably if it does bleed into next week, then yeah, they'll do something later. But I've kind of been all week just ready because they're trying to trade him first. We know that, but I think once you get to a certain point before free agency and you realize you're not close enough on a deal, then you might as well just cut him and designate it post June 1. So, but I'm ready for before free agency starts on Monday at noon. And then if not, then yeah, at some point. But I'm kind of just at any moment. I think it could happen.
Don't forget, folks, Welton Rayon, proud sponsors of our program, 954-966-4646. The consultation's free. They have their own adjusters. So if you have any damage to your property, home, a business, don't ever call the insurance companies. You call Welton Rayom first, explain your situation. They'll send their adjusters, and then they will handle the insurance company on your behalf. All right, what do you got going on in the Sentinel this weekend? You're on Tua watch, and what else?
Yeah, that I'll be previewing a free agency before it starts. So by the end of the weekend, I'll go ahead and put that out.
Is that going to be just a blank sheet of paper? Because they're not going to sign anybody.
All right, but they're gonna be filling out the roster. They still got to find some guys to bring on. They need to field the team.
You'll be waiting for the second and third waves of free agency. They're not going to sign anybody in the first wave of free agency. That's for damn sure. In fact, that will be the sign that I think we all know they're on the right track. The wrong track would be that they're part of the first day of free agency. Would you agree with that?
I think not if you find just economical deals. Like sometimes in the first wave of free agency, you just see a guy that signed at a minimum. It's not always the big money guys.
Not in the first wave.
Who are the first guys?
All the big time signings, bro. Come on.
No. There was a year where the first signing of free agency the Dolphins made was Kendall Lamb. All right, so last year it was actually
that's like an unknown. That's an unknown. That's not somebody that anybody's clamoring for. Kendall Lamb. We found out about Kendall Lamb after the fact, but at that moment, signing Kendall Lamb is like re-signing Cameron Good.
Yeah. I mean, it's very comparable for sure. So yeah, it will be some. But I'm just saying, like that was the first move that they made that year. Yeah, which like once free agency started, which showed you where their head was at. It's not always because you're viewing all avenues. So yeah, they're probably in talks with. I'm talking about that year's squad with the bigger price free agents, but then wanting to lock in this player. There could be economical choices that maybe like they want to come out to Miami and they know they're not going to get some big money on the market and just say, all right, yeah, I'll sign for the $2 million, whatever that you're willing to give me. We see plenty of those moves. So I think some of that, and then make sure to check out my mock draft too, post combine mock draft I posted this week, and check out all of my colleague Chris Perkins's positional previews on free agency before we get into it.
The editors squeezing your ass for that mock draft, aren't they?
Well, it was actually my idea because we start running mock drafts like later, closer to the draft, and I'm like,
yeah,
let's start getting these out early.
But wait a minute, why would you want to do a mock draft before free agency? What is wrong with you?
Well, this team is going to be building through the draft, so I think that's a priority because even if they fill out like the edge rusher position, you still want, if you get Ruben Bain there at 11, you want to bring him on.
So your mock is only like the 11th pick.
Oh no, the first round. Like I'll pick every other team.
Well, you will give yourself a chance to look a little better. Let free agency happen. That way you know what holes they filled, and then do your drafts. It's just
then that's the point of mock draft.
Just a little piece of advice, because doing mock drafts before free agency, es una locura.
No, not for this team because they got to take best available anyway. So even if they sign players out of position of need in free agency, they still got to go draft the best player they could find, regardless if they fill that position. That's the point of a mock draft 2.0.
That's actually a great point on your part. Free agency will not affect the Dolphins whatsoever, but it could affect the Dolphins depending on how free agency went on the teams around them, because that might affect what they pick, and then that affects what the Dolphins end up. So,
and then that's why you do a mock draft 2.0 after that, and then and then you update, and then maybe I do one where I find a trade partner. I got to keep it interesting.
There you go. Fill that space. All right. Follow him on Twitter at David Furones _ and catch his work and all those mocks at the South Florida Sun Sentinel. Have a great weekend, my brother. We'll catch you on Tuesday.
You too. Sounds good.
You got it. Bankruptcy, homeowner property damage, condo damage, criminal defense. Brittany, business owner claims, commercial litigation, personal injury. They can help you out, man. Welton Rayom, 954-966-46 46.
This has been another session of the Welton Rayom Miami Dolphins Report with David Furones. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. Welton Rayom can help.
All right. Don't forget, folks, you can make a donation to the show, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. Send your questions, comments, insults, all kinds of good stuff. Always appreciate that. Let's see. What do we got going on? Anything breaking? Any news? Any news? Let's see. What do we got? What's the market doing? 644 points down. The Dow, the S&P is down almost 80 points, and the NASDAQ is actually barely up, just like a tenth of a point. Not much, but at least it's up, better than down. As for Bitcoin, 68,538. There we go. All right. Nice little dip. All right. Juan Rosa says, if Heat lose, would the Panthers win? Wish those two teams don't play the same night. Drives me nuts trying to focus. Yeah, but the good thing is you don't really have to focus too much on the Panthers anymore. Their season is over, bro. They're done. It's over for them. So you can watch the Heat and focus on them because they're the only ones that have a shot at least, making the playoffs with the play-in or something like that. So that's what I would do if I'm you. You don't have to watch both at the moment. If you only have a chance to watch, if you want to focus on one, focus on the one that at least has a chance at the playoffs. The poor Panthers they're kind of done, unfortunately. The Raiders are releasing last season's starting quarterback Geno Smith, barring a trade before the start of the league year. By releasing Smith, the Raiders will open up $8 million in salary cap space while taking on an $18 million dead cap hit. All right, there you go. What else do we have here? Tommy says, I'm going to see a doom metal band called The Obsessed on Friday, the 13th in Rochester, and then a death metal show in Buffalo in May, deciding Rotten Christ and Immolation. Okay. Interesting bands. Not really into the death metal stuff. I need singers. I got to have singers. I can't have screamers. Not into screamers. Can't do that. Cannot do that. Let's see. Big O, I have the flu. Need some nature be, my friend. If Tua gets released, salute him for some of the funnest years of Dolphin football, and all my road games been with him. All right. He did have 2 years that we actually had a little fun. It's a shame. Let's see. Edge, offensive guard, wide receiver, cornerback, and safety should be the first 5 picks. Make picks based on BPA in these categories. Makes sense. Defense got roasted during big games in the 90s, despite Vincent, Oliver Cox, etc. I think Tom Olivadotti sucked as a defensive coordinator. No, you don't think. You know. You got that white man from town? Never say I think. I know Tom Olivadotti sucked. Karoon. Jeez. I thought it was a list of some random fan made up. Yeah. I would suggest to the Hard Rock people, you guys do awesome work. So if you're going to do anything like South Florida related, reach out to me. I'll gladly help you out. You need a list like that? I'll give it to you in a couple minutes. Hard Rock. Anybody out there listening, if you're doing something South Florida related, you may want to use somebody that, kind of has a view of South Florida, kind of knows the history of South Florida. It would be really important to do that. Kind of know the history of South Florida. There's not a lot of us here in town, but I'm one of them. I'm one of the few. I was born and watched every single championship in South Florida pro sports history. I've seen every team in town win the championship. So you may want to check with people that have a little perspective, a little depth, not some 24-year-old that doesn't really know much about it and just comes up with a couple of names. You know that Messi would not even be in my top 10? Because that championship is not like that difficult. You know what I mean? It's the MLS. You've got a bunch of stars around you. You should have won last year. And not only this past season, you should have won the year before. So it's not like it's an easier league. He wouldn't crack my top 10. He wouldn't crack my top 10. It's crazy. I don't know. It's a bad list. Yes, sir.
No, I feel like they did that list just like the media, just so they get clicks.
Yeah, or recent history. They're so recent in that list is so recent.
No, but you have Miguel Cabrera. You have to know something about the Marlins then, because he hasn't been here for a while.
It's the only name they can come up with. Yeah. It's the only one. They go back and look. Oh yeah, Miguel Cabrera.
Yeah, no, they put out there so they get the engagement on their social medias. That's all that.
They couldn't put Giancarlo Stanton because they didn't do anything. You know what I mean? They didn't win anything. Those teams, but the Cabrera team, that was a badass team. So it's crazy. It's crazy. You could tell it was just young person that knows nothing. But I'm here for you, Hard Rock. Okay, you guys need a little help. Reach out to me. I can easily make those kind of lists for you with no problem. And it'll be a respectable list. Anyway, what else do we have? The dude who made that list was snorting whiskey and drinking cocaine. And he was going to lose a lot on the crap tables and drive himself insane. Lisa Rose is in the house. Ted in. Ritter says, Vega loan gives me Zach Martin vibes. Give me Vega all day. All right. He wants Vega. Sud says, I'll take under the age of whoever made that list. Steve Hamilton with the Foley floater. Steve Hamilton, that's right. It's another one. Just don't change it. Leave them who they are. And just hope that you can work with it, Everything says bye to me. Yeah, that's kind of where we're at. If you can take advantage of it. Amen. Bless you, my brother. Big O, did you like Black Sabbath? Of course, bro. What kind of a question is that? Yes. Yes, I love Black Sabbath. Love the Ozzy Black Sabbath. Obviously, I thought Dio, those two albums are two of the greatest heavy metal albums of all time. All time. Mob Rules and Heaven and Hell are freaking masterpieces. I can jam those all the time. The Ian Gillan album is so underrated. Okay, Live Evil. I definitely, I'm a huge Sabbath guy. Love Sabbath. Always have. Definitely. Super Boom Shack, happy Friday to you, sir. What else? Oliver Dottie's eyebrows have joined the chat. There you go. There you go. A black hole in space does not have Oliver Dottie's level of suck. Horn Dog says, oh, I'm jealous. I've seen all of our teams win a championship except the Dolphins. 10-year gap between us. Oh, okay. I got you. I'm lucky, man. I have been alive and old enough because I was 7 and 8, and old enough to watch every championship of every team in South Florida history. It's pretty lucky for me. Pretty lucky. I put John Van Beesbrook over Tua. Yes. 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 He carried that team to a Stanley Cup. They didn't win because anybody that understands the fact that they got to the Stanley Cup was a miracle itself. And that Colorado team was one of the greatest teams of all time. So we weren't supposed to win. The fact that we got dogged by Colorado, not surprised. That offense, and we didn't have an offense. So for the Beezer to get the Panthers to the Stanley Cup Finals, Tua's efforts don't even come close. Okay? Not even close. So yes, sir. I'd put John Van Beesbrook way ahead of Tua. Tua wouldn't be in my top 50, dude. You know how many Canes players I can put that have won championships that in front of him? A bunch. You think I'm going to put Warren Sapp in front of him? There's a whole bunch of Canes. I can probably name 20, 25 Canes that I would put in front of Tua because they accomplished more. Just winning, just putting up some stats, it's just not enough. So, yeah. The Sign of the Southern Cross. Best Black Sabbath song. It is a great song. It's a great song. Let's see. Yeah, Oliver was one of Shula's greatest mistakes. He made a lot of bad mistakes, unfortunately. Once he lost his personnel people, there was just a lot of bad decisions by Shula, unfortunately. He could coach his ass off, but man, he was a horrible custodian. He just wasn't good. And with Marino, we got lucky. Basically, we got lucky that he had a shitty senior year and cocaine rumors. That's it. It's the only reason they took 5 guys in front of him. If he has a senior year that he was supposed to have, and he doesn't, have those rumors of being a party guy and all that, we never get him. We might end up with Todd Blackledge or Tony Eason or something like that, because we certainly weren't gonna end up with Jim Kelly. So, yeah, we got lucky, super lucky that we ended up with Marino. Okay, super lucky that he threw. Check it for me. How many interceptions he threw his senior year in Pitt? But he threw several interceptions his senior year, and then he had the reputation of being a party animal. What was his touchdowns to interception ratio? I think it wasn't as impressive as the years before. I think that was one of the 2 knocks was that. Let's see. Same horn dog. I am 50. I want a Dolphins Super Bowl victory in my lifetime, please. Well, let's hope so. Yes, sir.
He threw for 2,432 yards, 17 touchdowns, and 18 interceptions.
Wasn't that Shula was any good in the draft or anything like that. It's just we got lucky, dude. We got lucky that he had a shitty senior season. That's all. Super lucky. Super lucky. Sucks, but that's the reality of it. Let's get to our 3 graphic sports calendar. Last night, baby, the Heat got it done over the Nets, 126-110. They improved to 34-29. Hero had 25. Bam had 21. Jaquez had 18, 7-7. And Ware had 16 points, 11 rebounds, 5 steals, and 7 blocks. Tonight, let's see. You can beat frauds. Can you beat somebody that's red hot? The Hornets are red hot, and they're favored by 7 tonight at 7. The over and under is 230. Miami is plus 225 on the money line if you're feeling cocky. And the Hornets are minus 300 on the money line. That's what Vegas says about this game. Charlotte, by the way, is 2 games back of the Heat. in the standings. So this is a very important game for Miami, who's still stuck at number 8, even with the crappy wins against the Nets. The Panthers continue their slide. They lose to Columbus last night 4-2. Tonight, they will take on Detroit on the road at 7 o'clock. Detroit is minus 150 on the money line. The Panthers are plus 130. Saturday at 2 o'clock on ESPNU, the Canes are going for their 25th victory of the season and their 14th win of the conference. They can go 14-4 in the ACC with a win tomorrow against Louisville at 2 o'clock. Saturday at 4, I'll be there in Davie as the Fort Lauderdale United are hosting the Orlando Pride, where the USL is taking on the NWSL. And at 4:30, Inter Miami, after visiting the orangutan yesterday in the White House, they will take on the DC United tomorrow at 4:30. In football, the Buffalo Bills traded a second-round pick to the Bears for wide receiver DJ Moore, and the Texans gave Daniel Hunter a one-year contract extension worth $40 million, and the Rams and safety Cam Curl agreed to a 3-year, $36 million deal that can max out to 39 with incentives. That is your 3A Graphics sports calendar. All right. Visit our friends at Caneswear. Use our code BIG010. You will get 10% off. Let's see. Had to jump off. Have you discounted first-year coach Jay Lucas and the UM basketball team going for their record 25th win in Louisville? Get a double bye in the ACC. I know that. I mentioned that about the double bye yesterday. And I mentioned already, I've talked a couple times about the 25th win for him. That's it's a hell of an accomplishment. For him to do what he's done in an off season, not even a year, that's ridiculous. So, the Commanders are re-signing kicker Jake Moody. Hey, Moody. All right. So there you go. All right. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. We are now at 68,271. I'm waiting to make a buy. Got to make that buy. Yeah. Love it. Where are we at on the market? Did it get any better, please? A little better. I mean, we're like down 800 points. Now it's only down 542. So it's a little better. You know, S&P is down 71 points. And the NASDAQ is down. Oh, it's up actually. 1.5. So there you go. Got good stuff going on. In the dips, obviously, gas prices are going up. The barrel is skyrocketing. Did you notice that your gas stations did not wait for them to get more expensive gas? The second the war started, they all raised their prices. And you know they're all profiting even more on the gas that they have because they did not pay anything extra for the gas that they have. In fact, that gas has not gotten to the gas stations yet, and they're all charging us more. Bastards. Trump, by the way, is single-handedly killing the travel industry in the Gulf region. You know how many? He's setting them back big time, okay? Unemployment is going up. We've lost jobs since Liberation Day. The U.S. is talking about escorting tankers through their Hormuz. And if that happens, it's more taxpayer money. So more printing, more volatility. So hang in there, folks. Hang in there. Let's see. Big O, don't bash, but I had ChatGPT do a NFL draft of the 83 draft AI model and has Marino as the number 1 pick in the draft, and Mark Clayton and the Dolphins drafting Mark Clayton upgraded from an 8th round pick. That's how it goes. Yeah, man. It's crazy. Crazy shit, dude. We got lucky that year. We got really lucky that year. Big O, Trump said Cuba is next up. Just a question of time. What's up with that, bro? is, let me ask you something. Just, let's talk logic. Is Venezuela free? They left everybody in place. Like I've had people on, well, dude, because I'm Cuban, right? Don't you, they're Trumpies. Like, well, don't you want him going after Cuba because he took care of Venezuela? And I'm like, yo, moron, Venezuela's not free. They left everybody in place. Delcy Rodriguez says publicly that Maduro should be released, that Maduro's innocent. She's just puppeting for them, but that's because we're siphoning oil. We don't give a shit about the Venezuelan people. We're not doing anything for the Venezuelan people. They're not benefiting from anything. They're still being run by the same people. But our people don't care about that. They don't care about the country or anything. They're just siphoning the oil and now gold. It's like it's a grift job that, instead of him doing it for himself, he's like grifting for the country. That's what we're doing. We're doing nothing for the Venezuelan people. Nothing whatsoever. There are no free elections. They voted for somebody, and that person is not even allowed by this administration to get there. The ones that the person the people wanted is not allowed in. But you'll put the right-hand man of the dictator in place. So what are you going to do in Cuba? Are you really going to free it? And Iran, how are you going to really free Iran? You got to have boots on the ground in order to do that. Those cycles are going to go all the way to the death. So you haven't done anything, dude. Nothing whatsoever. Just to tell you, Ted, okay? Just give you like facts, bro. Because it's just, there's a lot of ignorance out there. They haven't freed shit. Okay? Freeing is eliminating the entire government because it's a communist government in Venezuela and putting in place the person that the people wanted, who's a democratic leader, and then help support her and put people in place and help her establish, but they don't want to go through that. They don't want to put boots on the ground, so they'll just strangle them through the oil fields and then control their money that way. And that's it. That's all they're doing. The government decides with the money they're getting on where it goes and to who, and it ain't going to be the people. So, Ted, por favor, let's get a brain. You know what I mean? When you tell me you're going to free something, let's really free it. Not bullshit. Everything are lies. Everything that has been said, nothing has been lived up to. You're paying more prices, you're paying more money, you're nothing. No endless wars. All we're doing is getting into more wars. Waste. We just fired the stupid puppy killer, and she's spending $220 million on her own campaign to do commercials. It's all lies, dude. It's all lies. That's all it is. It's all bullshit. So when you actually really free, we'll talk. But right now you haven't done jack shit. So when people tell me that, it's like, but I get it, man. Some of you out there, you're sold to one side or the other, and you got to be cheerleaders, and you believe lies and crap. It's garbage. It's all garbage. All garbage. That's all I can tell you. Anyway, speaking of garbage, the market is down 559 points, unfortunately. What else do we have? Danica Patrick fired from Sky Sports and F1. Danica, dude! Let me do a little music. Change the pace a little bit here. All right, Sean Stanley. Let's do Musicians Born on this date? All right, March 6th. Who was born on this date, March 6th, right? You guys are wondering. Tyler, the Creator, was born. How about that? American rapper, musician, songwriter, record producer, actor, designer, and comedian. Tyler, the Creator. Let's see. They don't put like his real name here. Born of 91, by the way. Chris Thompson, drummer with Vampire Weekend, born in 84. Who else celebrating birthdays today? Kiki D, Pauline Matthews, singer and actress with Elton John. Don't go breaking my heart. I couldn't if I tried. Born in 47. David Gilmour, one of the greatest guitarists of all time with Pink Floyd. Born in 46. Guitarist, singer, songwriter. Just a super talent. Let's see who else. Murray Head, the UK singer with One Night in Bangkok. Anyway, he was born in 46, a one-hit wonder, but that's much better than you and I, right? At least. Hugh Grundy, drummer with the Zombies. She's Not There. Born in 45. Let's see. Mary Wilson, vocalist with the Supremes, born in 44. My baby love. Oh, and that is it for musicians on this list. Now we will go with famous people. Remember, if I don't give you an age, sadly, that means they have passed away. Artist Michelangelo was hanging out with them just a couple of months ago. He was born in 1475, no longer with us. It was amazing. Michael can party, bro. Let's see. Musician Bob Willis, born in 1905. Actor Lou Costello, born in 1906. TV personality Ed McMahon, born in 1923. Federal Reserve Board Chairman Alan Greenspan, born in 1926. He is 100 today. Bless that man. Holy crap, he hit the 100 mark. Astronaut Gordon Cooper, born in 27. Former District of Columbia Mayor and big-time crack addict Marion Barry, born in 1936. He's in that rock in the sky. Baseball Hall of Fame member, I couldn't help myself. Willie Stargell, born in 1940. Actor, filmmaker Rob Reiner, born in 47. Just lost him tragically. Jesus. Actor Tom Arnold, born in 59. All that cocaine, he's still with us. He's 67. Actor, comedian D.L. Hughley, born in 63. He's 63. Actress Connie Britton, Sing That Country, Babe. Born in 67. She's 59. Actress Maura Kelly, born in 68. She's 58. Hall of Fame member Shaquille O'Neal, born in 72. He's 54. National Soccer Hall of Fame member Tim Howard, hell of a goalkeeper, born in 79. He's 47. That is it. Sean Stanley, do you have wrestlers, sir? You have a mic on, or is there something going on there? Or?
Yeah, I forgot to put me on the screen. You know, it happens every once in a while. I get used to working with you. I just pot up and I talk, and when I go home, now I got to be up on the screen.
So now you're hanging out.
David Flip.
You're hanging out with Think Blue Dodgers. You're potting up.
I wish.
Oh, okay. All right.
David Flair is 47. Don Arakawa was born on this date in 1946. Killer Khan was born on this date in 1947. Val Venus turns 55. And Mr. Kennedy turns 50 on March 6th, 2026.
All right. Thank you, sir. Let's see. Anything new here? Oh, no, not there. There we go. All right. I don't see anything coming across that I should pass on. All right, let's go with music history, right? Because what happened today on March 6th in music history? In 65, history was made when My Girl, written by Smokey Robinson, made the Temptations the first male Motown act to score a #1 single. In 75, Led Zeppelin's Physical Graffiti was certified gold. Let's see. In 76, The Miracles scored their biggest hit with I'm Just a Love Machine, and I don't work for nobody but you. Yeah, baby. Reached #1 in the United States. In 81, Spandau Ballet released their debut studio album, Journeys to Glory, and it features the singles To Cut a Long Story, The Freeze, and Muscle Bound. In 82, the Go-Go's started a 6-week run at #1 on the U.S. album charts with Beauty and the Beat, containing the hits. Do you know why the Go-Go's can't have babies? Because their lips are sealed. Anyway, our lips are sealed, and we've got the beat. Anyway, the album sold in excess of 3 million copies and reached triple platinum status, making it one of the most successful debut albums of all time. It is now widely considered one of the cornerstone albums of the 80s new wave music, and it was the first album entirely written and performed by an all-women band to top the charts. And the Go-Go's are the first all-women band to play their own instruments to also be in the Hall of Fame. So there you go. And yes, that was a corny joke that was available in the early 80s. Because when the single got out, then the joke got out. Oh, why can't the Go-Go's have babies? Because their lips are sealed. And so there you go. Let's see. What else do we have? In 98, Oasis singer Liam Gallagher appeared handcuffed in Brisbane, Australia court on charges of headbutting a fan during a concert in that city. Gallagher was released on bail. In 2000, Eric Clapton was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, making him the first person inducted 3 times. He was inducted as a member of the Yardbirds, Cream, and Solo. As Gnarls Barkley would say, ain't that some shit? Let's see. In 2001, Eve released her second studio album, Scorpion. It features singles Who's That Girl and Let Me Blow Your Mind. In 2006, New Orleans soul singer King Floyd died from complications of a stroke and diabetes at 61. Let's see. In 2015, Madonna released her 13th studio album, Rebel Heart. It features Living for Love, Ghost Town, Bitch, I'm Madonna, and Hold Tight. And let me see if there's any birthdays that I did not mention on the other list because it wasn't on the list. Oh, no. Doesn't look like it. Oh, by the way, Tyler, the Creator, is Tyler Okonma. He was raised in Los Angeles. Tyler was interested in skateboarding and piano as a youngster. In the 2000s, he began making music and posting it to MySpace, which is where his artist moniker, Tyler, the Creator, originated, and he became a founding member of the teenage rap collective Odd Future. As part of Odd Future, Tyler helped produce landmark recordings from Earl Sweatshirt and Frank Ocean while still pursuing solo work. Tyler, the Creator's first solo album debuted in the top 5 of the Billboard 200, and the next 2 albums, 2019's Igor and 2021's Call Me If You Get Lost, each won Grammy Awards for Best Rap Album. Beyond music, Tyler, the Creator, is also a fashion designer and established the fashion lines Golf Wang and Le Fleur. So Is he related to the coach? Was it inspired by Coach Lefleur? So there you go. I'm glad I got that because I mentioned it in the other one. They didn't even have Tyler, the Creator's real name. And I was like, come on, bro, give me some info on Tyler, the Creator. People want to know. And now you do. There you go. Don't you feel so much better that you know? Rob Reiner was a great director and seemed like a good person. Shame to lose him. Yeah, and especially when your son kills you. Like what the hell, dude? What's wrong with you? It's like you people out there that kill your spouses. Divorce the man or the woman. Just walk away. You don't need to commit murder. You ever heard of divorce? You'll live. You'll survive. It won't be easy, but you'll survive. Nobody wants divorce, but you don't kill the person. It's weird as shit. Anyway, let's see. 2016 and 24, our area ran out of fuel. 2016, U.S. gas shortage. And 2024, Helene. Keep your car 3/4 full during this war. Trust me, it's a very good advice. Keep it pretty full. Yeah. Big O, I'm looking for people to join my team. You got to be able to run, jog, walk 400 meters and do 29 squats 7 times. Sean is ready for you. Okay. And Frankie Fresco. Right, Sean?
I was going to tell NorCal it's going to be a lonely island for him.
No. You'll be there. I trust that you'll be there. You and Frankie.
Frankie, maybe. Frankie, he's running 5Ks and stuff now, yeah.
He's a workout fiend. So we'll send Sean and Frankie to assist you there and, inspire you, NorCal. I don't know if you could keep up with Sean. But you could try. Frankie will slack. He'll fall behind. Make sure you close the vents in your building. Let's see. Brett says, joke time. In similar vein as your go-go joke, did you hear about the deaf gynecologist who had to learn how to read lips? LOL. I've got 6 teammates so far. Let's go. Well, you got 8. You got Sean and Frankie. Okay, so you're set. You got 8. Those guys are ready to go. They are going to do it with you. That's for sure. Wish I could. I'd fall apart. Absolutely fall apart. All right, folks. It is a slow-ass day. I don't even know how I did an hour and 40 minutes, to be quite honest with you. I really don't. I have no idea how I did an hour and 40 minutes. Visit our friends at Subaru Pembroke Pines at 16100 Pines Boulevard. Alan is the manager out there. He does great work, and you can get $500 off when you buy or lease a vehicle. So make sure you mention us when you go. Appreciate you all out there. Visit our great sponsors. We thank, of course, the great Sean Stanley getting it done. We thank the one and only David Furones. Whatever you missed, you can rewind and check it out. Don't forget to hit the like button. Smash the notification bell, all of that good stuff. We shall see you on Monday. Same time, same place, same bat channel.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the